They have multiple players. Francisco Palacio. His evaluator is John Humphrey. John, do you have the objectives for Francisco's speech?
I do. So the purpose of the project is to learn about, explore, and practice facilitating a question and answer session. That may have happened already. And then also for the member to practice delivering an informative speech and running a well-organized question and answer session. And Francisco is also responsible for managing time, so there's adequate opportunity for both. I hope I did justice there, Francisco. That was what came up.
Thank you for that, John. Also.
And he has a special request regarding the speech time. So Francisco has asked, and that's a great question, 15 to 20 minutes, and it's 7:39 right now.
You got that, Madam Timer?
Yes.
Okay. Introduction is life can be a whirlwind of emotions, experiences, to-do list. Often internal chaos gets jumbled up, leaving us feeling overwhelmed and unsure how to move forward. That's where journaling comes in. This simple practice of putting pen to paper or fingers to keys isn't just about documenting your day. It's a powerful tool for promoting mental and emotional well-being. Whether you're navigating a challenging situation, seeking self-discovery, or simply want to de-stress, journaling can be a secret weapon for inner peace and clarity. Francisco Palacio, Journaling Journey Series. What is journaling to you? Francisco Palacio.
Thank you, Michael, and thanks everybody that's here, and thanks everybody that's planning to participate, and thank you for that. A little bit about this movie set prop. A few years back, when I started on my master's degree, I decided to dedicate it to Toastmasters. And some of you may remember I worked on a level 5 project, which I need to turn in now, regarding what this ended up being a website and a hashtag journaling journey. The website is journalingjourney.org. Most of these videos are already there. That's why I have this infinity sign on the roll as seen, shot, take. I'm even thinking of not having to count the episodes, but just say this is the umpteenth episode because it's been a work in progress. And it was essentially meant to encourage people to journal, now that the time has come by saving their speeches. It's a very simple thing to do in Zoom. You hit record and it saves a little file to your computer and then you upload it. Be it Facebook, again, LinkedIn, or even YouTube. That's where I have umpteenth of these videos with this little prop. And as you may remember then, we were 4 years away from this, and here we are. It's been 100 years of Toastmasters. So with that explanation, me remembering to set my timer, 1 second. I'm gonna go into the presentation and I'm gonna do a screen share. So please bear with me, because one of the things that Zoom does, I have a 55-inch monitor. I'm gonna explain my eye contact, my loss of eye contact is because when I present, let's see. That's interesting. You keep changing Zoom. Okay. I don't want to show the whole thing. I want to show Google. Let's see. First thing that it does, it just makes it big. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. New version of Zoom. So let's try this once again. I just need to show one page, one of the windows, Zoom. I don't need all these new features, Zoom. I just need to show one of these. Okay, let me minimize this. You know what? I'm gonna have to give you the whole screen. Sorry about that. And can you guys see the presentation in the middle?
Yes, we do.
I'm gonna try to make it bigger. I thought I had these all laid out, but soon got an upgrade. You know, it's those IT guys, they can't stop changing things. Okay, so the core of the presentation tonight is more about basic journaling, if you will. It's easy in our fast-paced world to let thoughts and feelings sit by uncaptured. Journaling offers a simple yet powerful way to slow down, gain clarity, and connect with ourselves on a deeper level. In this presentation, and I'm putting this in front of that, we'll explore what journaling is, how it can benefit you, why it's considered a therapeutic tool. So what is journaling? Journaling is a practice. That's personally why I think by now I am ever more inspired and hopefully eventually ever more clear on the thought of it, because at the beginning it was, well, it's just a hashtag, but now I realize that I've been journaling a lot. The classic definition is that it's done in writing, but here we can also think of doing it on a notebook. Okay, that's the classic definition. Typing on your computer or even on your phone. In my case, I consider myself to be a photo essayist, if that word even exists. I do photo essays. I take lots of pictures and then I put them on a Google photo album, and then I just play them at home. And you should see the conversations that my wife and I have about our trips or things we did. It can be something as fancy as what I presented the other day, going to Cozumel, or just our last camping trip. There are no right or wrong ways to journal. It's a personal practice. What are the benefits of journaling? Personally, I'm so glad that today we saw an example, a great example. Somebody had I would say a very, very profound life experience. And that's a great thing about Toastmasters, Liz. The better speeches, the speeches that usually win at the World Championship, are autobiographical. In other words, they're part of your journal. You just expand them into a speech. And with that, you get self-awareness. I think the other benefit that is listed here about reducing stress and anxiety, the fact that we have ways to, again, the traditional journaling, just write stuff down. In my case, to me, it's the captioning. It's what I put along with the pictures that I'm about to share. That's where the creativity flows along with the pictures. We talk about enhancing problem-solving skills. Arguably, it's something that is a transferable skill as well, because you start with yourself, you do your own journaling, you identify, as it says here, patterns in your thinking and behavior, and leading to better solutions. And right there, I make a living as a business analyst, and that's half of what I have to do. Half the time, they're not even my thoughts. They're somebody else's thoughts. There is what they call discovery meetings or requirements gathering. I think that's more of a more accurate definition of it. But yes, we discover what we would like to do, what we see the future could be like. And usually at those meetings, you have more technical people along with people who actually do the work, and you try to get them together and you try to figure out what the solution is. But being a serious journal writer person, I don't know if I could call myself, you're not supposed to use journalist for this, but being as serious at journaling helps with that side of my work, because I am writing, I think, pretty effective documentation that helps move from the conversation to the solution. It says here also, it boosts creativity. Journaling provides a space for free expression. Today, I gave myself an early birthday present. I had been waiting. I had been paying for 2 years for this iPhone. I'm gonna show it, see if it shows. No, it's hard to see. This is one of those that has the 3 cameras, and this thing is amazing. Guess what? I bought the next one. And my hope is I can keep it as just my camera, because I really want to practice more video, slow-mo, and all those things require space and power. And today I bought a camera. I hadn't bought a camera in a long time. So today I bought a camera. So yeah, creativity. And then finally, it strengthens memory. Writing down your experiences can help you remember them more vividly. I would like to ask, hopefully in the Q&A, by the way, I put some sample questions on the chat. For those of you that can look at them and share them while we're together there. To me, the strengthens memory part, the writing down the experiences, not only more vividly as we saw today, great example with the first speech, you can inspire people. And guess who's going to be there in October? Kevin. I will. And by the way, last October, I was watching you. So maybe I can write a speech now about watching people fall off the stratosphere from the stratosphere pool. So as you can see, it goes back and forth. So it's just amazing what journaling does. And here's the kicker. I see it as being therapeutic. It allows for emotional processing. You can process them in a safe and healthy way. Of course, this is more traditional personal journaling on your journal, on your diary, writing to yourself. I don't practice that. My journaling is a little bit more open, always thinking, can I put this out there, promote Toastmasters, promote the club, share my pictures, whatever. But as we can see, in that process, we're also providing a space for self-compassion. You can be kind to yourself. You can celebrate your victories and your struggles as well. It gives you some control in the process of, again, even putting the pictures, composing, what do I take, what do I focus? That's why I love photography. Photography, at the end, is a very selfish medium because you're the only one that's supposed to be looking through the viewfinder and you're the one that's composing that one image. I'm happy that now everyone is a photographer, by the way. And then finally, the create a record of your journey. It's, like I said, something here in the family, we enjoy it. Sometimes I'm out there traveling and my wife just turns on the TV and she gets to see what I did that same day. And then we talk about it on the phone. And I assume someday, if some of you manage to come to my funeral, guess what you're gonna be greeted with? There'll be lots of pictures just running on the background, 5 seconds each. Most of them are fun. Most of them are just me. So here's my plea, and as I wrap up this portion of the speech and hopefully encourage you to help me with this material in the Q&A session. And again, I have some questions ready, and let's start with those. Find a quiet place. That's, again, the traditional version of journaling. I think I isolate myself in a quiet place when I'm in front of my phone. Set aside a dedicated time. If you're just starting, honor it. Like I said, I just do it. I just grab it. I just put it out there. And then, again, after the trips, I print them. And sometimes I print them in for the wall, or I print them in a book. And then I like this question or this bullet point. Choose a journaling prompt if you need inspiration. Here are some questions. What am I grateful for today? What is one challenge I'm facing? I know some Toastmasters in District 40 have a journal that they write and they share, and they say these 5 good things that happened today, 2 good things that happened today. And that's important. The grammar and spelling, yeah, write freely and honestly, the AI will correct it. And to wrap it up, most important, be consistent. The more you journal, the more benefits you will experience. I can really, really attest to that. And with that, I'm going to stop the share so we can now talk. And I don't know who would like to take one of these questions that I put in here. For example, I'm going to do a table topic style. So just raise your hand if you want to answer it. Let's just make it easier. Right there. How comfortable are you with the idea of sharing your journal entries with someone else, perhaps a therapist or trusted friend? Again, the question is, how comfortable are you with the idea of sharing your journal entries with someone else, perhaps a therapist, a trusted friend, or in my case, the whole world? Anybody?
Francisco, I can take that one because I have experience with it.
Go for it. Thank you, Mike.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. I don't know if you want me to stand up for it.
Yes, please do that. Yes, I'm gonna give you the floor now.
All right, thank you. Actually, I do. I haven't journaled as much for the past year or so. I was really into it for the past few years. You and I talked about it previously. It's probably been 2 or 3 years ago. But I have shared my journal. A lot of times I would take it when I would go on vacation, and my girlfriend would read it. But it was perfectly fine. There was nothing in there that was like, inappropriate or something I wouldn't want her to read. It was just stuff mostly to help me. It was things I was thinking about at the time or struggling with. Especially a few years ago, I joined Toastmasters in about June or July of 2020. And so that 6 months after I joined, journaled a lot about Toastmasters. Just the struggles that I was dealing with public speaking and things like that, just the fears, frustration. But it did help. I'm sure that it helped. Because taking those thoughts and those emotions and getting them out on paper and writing them down, I don't know. In some way it helped, I guess, get them outside of me. And that she read that stuff or would read it did not bother me one bit at all. So she's probably the only person that's ever read it, but yeah, I've let my girlfriend read it completely and had no problem with that. So I hope that helps answer your question. Helps you.
It did. Thank you, Michael, so much. So with that, I'm going to ask the second question. What are your biggest hesitations about starting a journaling practice? What are your biggest hesitations about starting a journaling practice? Anyone? Okay, I have another question. Do you prefer a structured journaling format or a free-flowing stream of consciousness style?
I can take that one too.
Go for it.
Oh, short sweet. Oh, definitely you.
Oh, great.
I've been journaling for several decades, I would think, and I love when there's crossover. So I like it free form because it'll start off as a gratitude, something in general. It kind of started that way.
This way, Ken.
Yeah, there you go.
And, that was in the late 90s when my dad was diagnosed with cancer, and I was like, I got to get through this. So that kind of got me through it. And so what are we to 2024? So I've been doing it all that time. I have tubs full of journals, but what I love is when there's a spin-off and then I solve a creative problem for a painting or a piece of pottery or a piece of art. So that's my favorite thing, when it just kind of takes a turn and it all comes together in some kind of genius answer to my problem I didn't even know I had.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to ask this question, which was already answered, but how have you ever tried journaling for a specific purpose like goal setting or creative brainstorming? How did it work for you? Anybody else that has done it for creative purposes? How did it work for you?
I can take this one.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, so I'm in marketing, so a lot of my projects for work, I'm always brainstorming ideas, whether it's keywords I want to use or even like ideas to start a project. So I think brainstorming is a great way to do a journal. Personally, I think this great to write out all your ideas, and that's like things off like what do you actually like, what don't you like, and figuring it out. So I think it's a great idea. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Jeremy. Okay. I have a bit more personal one. It says, do you think journaling could be a helpful tool for managing stress or anxiety? Why or why not? Do you think journaling could be a helpful tool for managing stress or anxiety? Why or why not?
I can take that.
Oh, great. Thank you, Daniel.
So an interesting thing is that our brain can only focus on about 7 different pieces of information at any time, give or take 2 or 3. And so when you're going through something really stressful and have a lot of anxiety, have any other stuff going on, if you have to sit down and focus and write it out, then what it's doing is it's focusing your attention on that for a moment. You're able to address it, get it on the paper, and when you close the book, your brain has this sense of completion that, okay, I've addressed it. And it can set it aside and allow you to move on to other stuff. So yes, when you're going through stressful times, anxiety, or even if you can't sleep at night because your mind's going a million miles per hour, if you just brain dump into your journal all of the stuff that's going on, then as soon as you shut that page, you can move on and allow your brain to focus on other things.
Brain dump. That's a new hashtag. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, I'm at 18 minutes and 31, and I know I'm a little late. I think Sheila has the yellow put on in front of me, so I'm gonna ask the last question. How do you think journaling could benefit your relationships with others? Again, how do you think journaling could benefit your relationship with others? The last question before we wrap this up. We're in the yellow. Who would like to take this one? You're on mute, Max, and remember, we're gonna put this on YouTube, okay?
Okay,
Just
is
so
this
you
a
know.
table topic session? I think I may have joined late.
Kind of, sorta. It's a Q&A project, and I'm using the table topic format, correct?
Okay, I would love to try it out.
Okay, go for it.
Now, the question, can I repeat the question again, please, if you don't mind?
Yeah, how do you think journaling could benefit your relationships with others?
Thank you, Mr. Table Topic Master. I believe journaling can help all of us. I self-journal in my head all the time. I recall on things that either trigger me for something I don't like or things that improve, that make my life better. I like to record them. I did do a journal at one time, and every once in a while, I will look back at that journal I have, and I'll see something I'm having right now. I documented 6 months ago of having the same thing. And then I'll look into it, and every once in a while, I'll see something that I wrote a note. This is why I feel I had it, and this is what I did. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's good to know that. Or if I'm taking some kind of a reading session on a book where I find something that seems very helpful, I'll jot it down on the post-it or something, and I'll stick it somewhere. That's a sense of journaling, but it's not, so much direct journaling, but it's a reminder to tell me, you've been here before, you've done this before, this is what you do to get past it. And sometimes those memories help with life. And this goes with everything. At my work, I'll put it on my monitors across the board of the monitors, and I'll have like multiple post-its here and there. And I'm asked a question during a meeting, and I look down and boom, answers right there. I just help my day by journaling something somewhere where I could keep document of it. Is the time red now? Sorry.
That's okay. One more minute.
Oh.
One more minute, Sheila. Go on, Max.
So I do believe journaling is a massive help. I've heard people journal, and when they get past something, they just burn it away or let it fly away, let it go off into pieces. I think that's a great idea. I do that in a mental note all the time when I come across a thought that I'm not so sure I'm enjoying, or it's not going to benefit me, my values or anything. I let that thought just dissipate into the wind, and that's a visual I have, but it's somewhat of a journal that I've documented. So when I do have these kind of recurring thoughts or something it's not benefiting my day, I let it come and I let it go. The way to remind me is it's a trigger and I see it and I document it before I've written it down, but I've done it so many times and now it's here. The journal has become part of my daily habit. When I have a thought that I'm not really jiving with, that's not going to help me. And I think that could benefit for everybody. I think journaling anything, your dreams, your days, your just occurrences that happen, good or bad, it helps you reflect upon things from your past or your future that can make it better. And I think journaling is it's definitely helpful, and I wish I try to do as much as I can here, but I definitely need to get back to that day-to-day journaling I can. Thank you, Mr. Tabletop Master.
Thank you, Max. That was a great answer. And we're going to wrap this presentation up. Again, this is hashtag journaling journey or journalingjourney.org. That's where I have the master's project is there. I'm going to publish this on our LinkedIn group with the Toastmasters 100 hashtag. And this is today, I would say this is the club podcast. I really appreciate the input from an earlier intervention that signal, hey, why don't you interview somebody? And all of you, great answers. Thank you so much. And with that, I'm going to stop the recording. If I could find the switch for it. Okay.